This is the Retro Hunting Adventures, and I am your host, Mr. MegaManFan, and we'll be right back to look at some of my new pickups after these important words from Megaran.
Yo, this is MegaManFan, and you need to rock and or roll on over to Mr. MegaManFan's YouTube channel, because it's all that rush to make it happen. Peace!
This week's update is heavily Nintendo based, save for one PS2 game at the end, but we'll start with the Croods Prehistoric Party for Wii U. Getting down to those last few games I need, and I was actually able to talk the eBay seller into a little bit of a discount, so I was happy to pick this one up, and now let's test it out and make sure that it works. Ironically, I was a little more aware that I needed to pick this one up because a new Croods movie was scheduled for theaters in 2020, but I doubt that worked out the way they wanted to thanks to the pandemic. And also, this doesn't work out the way I want it to since I have to download an update, so why don't we just do a little jump cut here instead of waiting it out. That took about 4 minutes to download and another minute to install. Thankfully, I have an external hard drive for this situation because if not, I would have run out of memory on my Wii U's internal storage a long time ago. And if you're going to use an external drive with your Wii U, make sure you get one that has its own power supply, because if you try to power it just off of the port on the Wii U itself, it will not provide your hard drive enough power. You've got to get one that has an external power source, or you won't even be able to read and write to it. So it looks like the Croods is a working game, and since I don't want to run afoul of DreamWorks for using any of their intellectual property, I will stop before it starts playing clips. Next up, we have Cabelas Outdoor Adventures for GameCube. Sadly, this one did not have the instruction manual in it, but it was so cheap that I decided I could always pick one up later. Now, this was, incredibly enough, a one-day exclusive for Nintendo GameCube. It came out first for Nintendo on September 13th, 2005, and one day later, Xbox and PS2 got their copies on September 14th. In PAL territories, it didn't come out till March 17th the next year, so they had to wait. And it appears that this is another working game, so I'm 2 for 2 today. Hunting games, not necessarily my thing, but with GameCube, it's like Wii U. I'm to that point where I'm looking for anything I don't already have. And I will say, the visuals seem appealing. I felt the same way with Wii U Cabelas game that I picked up not too long ago, so maybe I'll be able to get into this one, even though I leave the hunting to the professionals, and the most I've ever used a bow was in Link's crossbow training. But let's move on to the next game and make sure that one works as well. Coming up, we've got Disney's Extreme Skate Adventure. Surprisingly more expensive than I thought it would be, because I thought only the Disney sports titles like baseball, football, basketball were the ones that were expensive, but this one still ran me about $30. It looks like it's going to be another working title, and it also looks like it came out on all platforms at the exact same time. Game Boy Advance, GameCube, PS2, and Xbox, all September 2nd, 2003. Reviews are generally positive, according to Metacritic. 70 out of 100 GBA, 76 GameCube, 78 PS2, 76 Xbox. So GameCube is right in the middle of the pack there. Not the best, not the worst, but it definitely works to get the point across. Now, most versions of it were developed by Toys for Bob, but if you get the Game Boy Advance version of this, it was made by Vicarious Visions. And again, I'm going to be careful how much of this I show, because who knows what of Disney's assets they would choose to flag if they got really picky about background music or any footage from Disney intellectual property movies, so I can show you the credits, and that's about it. Third up on the list, The Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy, which my friend Ryan Taylor was very surprised to find out was a GameCube release. So why don't we see if that one even came out in Australia? We've got a North American release date for PS2 and GameCube of September 25th, 2006, Game Boy Advance October 31st, 2006, and on Wii it came out November 19, 2006 in North America, Australia March 15, 2007, and the European Union 1 day later. So Ryan, you can play this, but you'd have to get it for Nintendo Wii. That is the only way to do it. It is, of course, based on the Cartoon Network show The Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy, and it features 15 fully playable characters plus 5 horde characters, all of which are enemies from the game and only have a limited moveset. Speaking of limited, this one got mixed to average reviews, according to Metacritic. The GameCube topped out at 7.2 out of 10, and it looks like other versions did not fare much better. PS2 got as low as 3 out of 10, and Wii got as low as 4 out of 10, although at least one source had it as a 6.9, so nothing higher than a 7.2 from IGN for multiple versions of the game. Here's Harvest Moon, Another Wonderful Life. And when I was at the store, I had to do a double take on this one because I was like, wait a minute, don't I already have Harvest Moon, A Wonderful Life? I do. This is Another Wonderful Life. They remade the game and gave people the option to play as a female protagonist instead of as the male protagonist. A very good decision on their part. I commend them for it, but wouldn't it have been easier to just have the option to choose your own gender or be gender neutral in the game instead of having to release 2 separate games altogether? Well, it was the 2000s. Some of these decisions, even the good decisions, had weird ways of being put to use. But this game has an extraordinarily long opening cutscene, so much so that eventually I just got tired of it and popped open the GameCube's disc tray while the disc was still running and popped it out. I was like, you know what? If I was actually going to sit down to play this game, I'd wade through every single cutscene and all the accompanying text explaining every single detail of this, but it's basically the same as A Wonderful Life. It's just another wonderful life. Incidentally, if you want to know the release dates, I'll go ahead and tell you that. The first version came out September 12th, 2003, whereas Another Wonderful Life came out July 2005. Sadly, no specific date in that month, just July 2005. Here's James Bond 007 From Russia with Love. Now watch this one be a confusing date to search for. Probably going to bring up the movie first and not the actual game, so I'll try to get creative with my searching here. From Russia with Love game and not From Russia with Love movie. Yes, that worked. From Russia with Love video game was released November 1st, 2005, November 15th on GameCube, and November 18th on both PS2, Xbox, and GameCube in the European Union. Finally, from GameCube, we have Spy Hunter. Not the original that I played in arcades, but a spiritual sequel, which was developed by Midway, who still had the intellectual property rights. And there are so many release dates that it's going to get very confusing very quickly. So let's see if we can find the specific version that is here. 2001. GameCube, Xbox, Game Boy Advance, Microsoft Windows, PlayStation 2. And it was developed by Paradigm Entertainment. Again, no more specific date than 2001. For whatever reason, somebody cut the artwork on my copy. It's complete with the instruction manual, but they must have tried to trim it to fit it inside of a different case because it was split on both sides. Last but not least, here's that PlayStation 2 game I promised, Crash Bandicoot, The Wrath of Cortex, complete with the manual. I got this one during a Trade Post Entertainment sale. It was something like buy 3, get 2 free, buy 4, get 3 free, buy 5, get 5 free. I think that's how it went. And of course, your lowest priced items are the ones that are free. But hey, free is free, right? So whenever you can get some free video games, take advantage of it. And when it came to Crash Bandicoot, it's so hard to find used copies of Crash games because there are so many people who are trying to collect the entire Crash series and love Crash Bandicoot, warts and all, even his bad games, that I was just astounded to find a complete copy in a decent condition on a shelf in a store. It's that hard to find Crash Bandicoot games sometimes. So I took that opportunity and seized it. The moment I saw it, I was like, okay, sale or not, this one I'm definitely picking up. This game got released on pretty much every platform of the day when it came out. PS2 North America, October 29, 2001, November 23, 2001, European Union. Xbox, April 16, 2002, 10 days later, European Union. GameCube, September 17th in North America, November 1st in the European Union. I'm Mr. MegaManFan, and this ends the pickups video.